Choosing our chains, the paradox of freedom. In the realm of human existence, absolute freedom is an illusion. Life is an interplay of choices, constraints, and consequences, where the chains we wear define the nature of our existence. These chains, though often invisible, tether us to our deepest desires, fears, and priorities. Paradoxically, it is in choosing our master that we exercise true freedom, a concept central to Stoic philosophy. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, articulated this paradox succinctly. No man is free who is not master of himself. This idea is a cornerstone of Stoicism, which teaches that freedom is not found in external circumstances, but within the mind. We are not enslaved by the events of the world, but by our attachments to them. In this sense, the true question is not whether we are free, but what or whom we have chosen to serve. The masters we serve, wealth and honor. In modern society, wealth is often seen as synonymous with freedom. Financial security promises liberation from worry, the ability to pursue dreams, and a sense of power over one's environment. Yet when wealth becomes an end rather than a means, it turns into a tyrannical master. Those who prioritize accumulation above all else often find themselves trapped in a cycle of endless striving. The joy of acquiring is fleeting, replaced by the fear of loss or the insatiable desire for more. Seneca, the Roman philosopher, warned of this trap. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. The pursuit of wealth enslaves because it ties our happiness to something external and impermanent. A life dictated by material gain is a life spent serving possessions that ultimately possess us. Another seductive master is honor, the pursuit of recognition, fame, and validation. In seeking approval from others, we surrender our autonomy to their opinions. Marcus Aurelius, emperor and Stoic, observed this folly. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. To chase honor is to live at the mercy of others' judgments, forfeiting the inner peace that comes from self-respect and virtue. Reason and virtue, the Stoic alternative. The Stoics propose a radically different master, reason guided by virtue. This master does not promise material wealth or public acclaim, but offers something more enduring, inner freedom. To serve reason and virtue is to align one's life with the natural order, embracing wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance as guiding principles. These virtues, unlike wealth or honor, are entirely within our control. They are not subject to the whims of fortune or the fickle approval of others. When we choose reason and virtue as our master, the nature of our chains changes. Instead of dragging us down, they anchor us in resilience and clarity. A virtuous person understands that external events are beyond their control, but their responses are not. This perspective frees them from the turmoil of anger, fear, and desire, enabling them to face life's challenges with equanimity. The power of choice. The essence of freedom lies in the ability to choose. Every decision we make reflects and reinforces the master we serve. Consider a simple example. Faced with an insult, one person might react with anger, bound by the chain of pride. Another might choose silence, guided by the chain of reason. The former is a slave to external validation. The latter is free, despite outward appearances. This power of choice is transformative. It reminds us that we are not passive victims of circumstance, but active participants in shaping our lives. By choosing virtue, we declare independence from the external forces that seek to dominate us. This is not an easy path. Virtue demands effort, discipline, and self-reflection, but it is a path that leads to true freedom. The weight of our chains. In the end, the chains we wear are both a burden and a revelation. They weigh upon us, shaping our actions and desires, but they also expose the nature of our servitude. Are we bound by the pursuit of transient pleasures, the fear of others' opinions, or the relentless drive for material gain? Or have we chosen chains that uplift, binding us to reason, virtue, and the pursuit of a life well lived? The Stoic challenge is to choose our master wisely. To serve wealth or honor is to live in bondage to forces beyond our control. To serve reason and virtue is to embrace a higher freedom, one that grants us peace amid chaos and strength in the face of adversity. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, it is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. In choosing our chains, we choose how we will live. Let us choose well, for the quality of our servitude defines the quality of our lives, the nature of true freedom. In the closing reflections on the paradox of freedom, it becomes evident that our choices about whom or what we serve are deeply intertwined with the quality of our existence. The pursuit of freedom is universal, yet its interpretation varies profoundly. For some, it is the ability to act without restriction. For others, it is the capacity to live in alignment with one's highest values. The Stoic philosophy invites us to reconsider freedom as a state of inner mastery, achieved not by rejecting constraints, but by consciously choosing those that align with our nature. The chains of passion and pleasure. Beyond wealth and honor, passions and pleasures are among the most alluring masters. Modern culture often equates happiness with indulgence, the satisfaction of desires, the pursuit of comfort, and the avoidance of discomfort. Yet, as Epictetus warns, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. When we give in to every impulse or chase fleeting pleasures, we are not free. We are enslaved by our cravings. The Stoics teach that pleasures, while not inherently bad, must be approached with moderation and discernment. Pleasure becomes a chain when it overrides reason, leading us to act against our better judgment. Consider the person who sacrifices health for indulgent eating or jeopardizes relationships for fleeting gratification. Such choices reveal a life dictated by base instincts rather than deliberate thought. Passions, particularly unchecked anger, fear, or envy, are equally enslaving. They cloud judgment, fuel destructive behavior, and disrupt inner peace. To be ruled by passion is to be at the mercy of forces that undermine the rational mind. The Stoics advocate for temperance, not suppression, but mastery of emotions. As Seneca writes, "No man is free who is a slave to his body." The freedom of self-mastery. If enslavement to passions and pleasures represents the lowest form of bondage, self-mastery represents the pinnacle of freedom. To achieve self-mastery is to align one's will with reason, to act consistently with one's values, regardless of external pressures. This is not an abstract ideal, but a practical discipline, cultivated through daily choices. Self-mastery begins with the recognition that we cannot control external events, but can always govern our responses to them. This fundamental Stoic insight shifts the locus of control inward, empowering us to focus on what truly matters: our thoughts, actions, and character. In practicing self-discipline, we gain freedom from the turmoil of reactive living. The role of reflection and discipline. Reflection is a cornerstone of the Stoic path to freedom. Daily examination of one's actions, motives, and thoughts fosters self-awareness and strengthens the commitment to virtue. Marcus Aurelius, who in his Meditations demonstrates the power of this practice. By continually questioning his assumptions and actions, he maintained a steady course aligned with reason and justice. Discipline is the mechanism by which we reinforce our choices. Like a craftsman refining their art, the Stoic hones their character through deliberate practice. This includes enduring discomfort, resisting temptation, and maintaining focus on long-term values over short-term gratification. Such discipline is not a form of self-denial, but an affirmation of freedom, the freedom to live authentically and meaningfully. Choosing the higher path. The Stoics believed that a life of virtue is the only life worth living. Virtue is not merely a set of moral rules, but an alignment with the fundamental principles of nature and reason. To choose virtue is to rise above the petty concerns of wealth, honor, and pleasure, dedicating oneself to the greater good. It is a commitment to wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance, not as abstract ideals, but as practical guides to daily life. This path is not without difficulty. Choosing virtue often means resisting the pull of immediate gratification, standing firm in the face of adversity, and bearing the burdens of responsibility. Yet the rewards are profound: a sense of purpose, resilience in hardship, and a peace that cannot be shaken by external events. The legacy of our choices. In the end, the chains we choose become our legacy. They define how we live, what we value, and what we leave behind. A life spent chasing wealth or honor may leave behind material achievements, but often at the cost of deeper fulfillment. A life dedicated to passion or pleasure may burn brightly but fades quickly, leaving little of lasting value. A life of reason and virtue, however, transcends these fleeting concerns. It leaves a legacy of integrity, wisdom, and strength, a testament to the enduring power of inner freedom. Such a life is not free from struggle, but is free in its ability to meet struggle with dignity and grace. Final reflection: the courage to choose. As we navigate the complexities of existence, the Stoic call to action is clear. Choose your chains with courage and wisdom. Recognize the forces that seek to enslave you and resist their pull. Embrace the chains of reason and virtue, for they are not constraints, but the foundation of true freedom. In the words of Epictetus, the essence of philosophy is that a man should so live that his happiness shall depend as little as possible on external things. Let us heed this wisdom, choosing the master that uplifts rather than enslaves, and living lives that reflect the highest ideals of human potential. For in the end, our chains reveal not only what we serve, but who we truly are. If this journey into Stoic wisdom resonates with you, don't let it end here. Hit that like button to show your support. Share it with someone who needs a dose of philosophy in their life, and subscribe for more thought-provoking content. Let's navigate life's challenges together, one Stoic principle at a time. And remember, your next choice could shape your freedom. Choose to stay curious, stay virtuous, and stay tuned.